The principle of incomplete comprehension of object in the context of the discourse of uncertainties in a digital society. Authors: Olena Polishchuk, Nataliia Kovtun, Irina Vitiuk, Житомир Івано-Франко State University, Ukraine, Роман Sapeńko, Bogdan Trocha, Університет Зеленогорський, Poland. The object of the research. The content of the principle of incomplete comprehension of object. Heuristic and predictive capabilities of the principle of incomplete comprehension of object when considering risks and prospects for the development of modern society and person in conditions of digital culture. Basics of the research. The phenomenon of incomplete comprehension of object within the research process and its links with understanding concepts and partial interpretation of the content by a person. The problem of incomplete comprehension of object focused on the study of the phenomenon of recognition. The problem of incomplete knowledge. The problem of incomplete information in natural language processing. The purpose of the study. The principle of incomplete comprehension of object, its analysis. Its methodological value as a component of the method of system analysis. Its heuristic value considering social processes and abrupt changes in various spheres of human life, such as production, everyday life and leisure, cultural development, education and upbringing. Hypothesis. The importance of identifying and taking into account the totality of ambiguous and non-obvious links between the internal elements of the object, as well as in its interaction with agents of external influence. The value of focusing attention on agents of unusual reaction to situation with a wide range of consequences. Focus on negative experience in human reactions to novelty and innovation. Results. Social life is a nonlinear system, and therefore many links between its components are ambiguous. That is, they cannot be considered rigid, stable, constantly reproducing, especially during the period of rapid development of new technologies and materials. It's important to consider the society as a dynamic phenomenon, some of the causes and consequences of which are implicit in perception, and therefore difficult to understand or interpret. But their ignorance or not paying proper attention to them can lead to social destruction, instability, and regression. Results. Focus on cognitive limits in social cognition, individual learning, or vocational education. When it comes to rapid changes in the way of life, and only some people may easily adapt to new conditions of life. Results. Focus on ideological attitudes and the value sphere of life, both of an individual and group, as more conservative, stable elements of a person's spiritual life rather than his knowledge in the professional sphere. Notes. Connections without a hard manifestation. First, connections are probabilistic by nature. Second, connections are at least perceived, non-obvious, implicit. Third, connections are the totality of ambiguous links between the internal elements of the object. Notes. The value of focusing attention on agents of unusual reaction. They are people whose reaction, primarily essential to what is happening in typical situations, is unusual, or group of social irritants as objects of hostility or sympathy of agents of unusual reaction. Results. Focus attention not on positive moments mainly, but on negative experience, primarily in human sensory reactions to novelty and innovation. Theoretical and practical value. Digital society, orienting the researcher in the discourse of complex phenomena. Rapid development of digital culture, medium-term and long-term focus in the spheres of material, social, and spiritual life of people. For example, adequate focus of the relevance of future profession. Adequate modeling of the situation, the main features of which are non-obviosity and uncertainty in understanding the determinants and conditions of the situation, the prospects for its development.